Reading Bhagavad Gita chapter 6, text 20 to 23. Yatro paramate cittam niruddham yoga sevaya yatra chaivatmanatmanam pasyanatmani tushyati sukham adyatendang yattada buddhi grahyamatindrayam yati yatra nakaivayam stitas khalati tattvataha yam ladvaka param labham manyatena dikatata yasmin stito na dukkena guru na vivikalyate tam vidya dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga samnitam. In the state of perfection called trance or samadhi, one's mind is completely restrained from the material mental activities by practice of yoga. This perfection is characterized by one's ability to see the self by the pure mind and to release and rejoice in the self. In that joyous state, one is situated in a boundless transcendental happiness, realized through transcendental senses. Established thus, one never departs from the truth, and upon gaining this, he thinks that there is no greater gain. Being situated in such position, one is never shaken, even in the midst of greatest difficulty. This indeed is actual freedom from all miseries arising from material contact. So that's the samadhi state, when one's one is first consciousness, material swachit, material consciousness is first restricted from the material activities. And when that consciousness is still, and that happens through the practicing of yoga, practicing the rules and regulations of yoga, practicing yoga and proper parampara and the proper guidance. And then that consciousness, when it becomes still, it starts to reflect the self, the chitta, the consciousness, which is the instrumental power of the self. And then one can use that as a platform to disconnect from this misidentification and withdraw that consciousness, that instrumental power self back to the self. And that's state of ananda. When one experiences the happiness within, one becomes atmarama. One is happy within. And then one understands that self has spiritual senses. These material senses are expansion of the like a thinking, feeling and willing faculties of the mind, which is chinta and bhavana and vasana. And the spiritual senses are original. There's adi prana, which is the ability to experience. There's vaitsa, which is the free will, and there's chitta, which is the instrumental power of consciousness. These are the source of the spiritual senses. And when one reaches that level of self-realization, then one is naturally indifferent to the matter. One doesn't anymore get any more happiness from the material energy, because the spiritual energy, happiness is overriding all kinds of material enjoyments. And when one is that kind of, one becomes like a stira, one becomes stable, and dhira, sober. And that's the real freedom. So the spiritual freedom is that real freedom. This material freedom is illusory, in that sense that our freedom is dictated by our karma. We are only free as much as our karma allows to be free. So material freedom is not really freedom. Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai.